everyone, Jeremy here with you, and today we are talking about storage. I think it's called storage, but you know, that's what we're talking about. But before we get to it, if you want to follow along my journey as I try to build wealth for my family, then subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. And as I always say in every one of my videos, this is not financial advice. I am literally a guy sitting on a computer rambling to a camera. So always keep that in mind. Let's get to it. All right, so if you've got Coinbase, then you probably noticed that they recently added STORJ Token to their platform. If you don't have Coinbase, you're new to crypto, I would never say that Coinbase is the best exchange out there, but it is probably the easiest one out there. If you go down to the description, I've got a link. If you sign up for Coinbase using my link, you'll get $10 in Bitcoin, I'll get $10 in Bitcoin, and it's just an easy way to get started with cryptocurrency. So let's go back to it. All right, so storage is essentially a token. 292 this morning. This is what's crazy. If you look at, I guess back in 2018 during the big bull run, it jumped up to 250 and then fell back down into, 15, 20, 18 cents for a while. And then it jumped way back up to whatever it is right now, 292. Now, right in here somewhere was when it was added to Coinbase. So that's probably part of the reason for this big jump. But let's talk about what storage is. And it's essentially a decentralized cloud storage, which if you've seen any of my videos on Theta, I'll link some of them up here. But Theta basically takes the idea of streaming and distributes it out and takes it from this centralized model that it currently is, that Amazon currently uses, and Netflix and all these big YouTube, all these big companies currently use this centralized idea of video streaming, and Theta distributes that. I'm not getting into Theta, but I love Theta. I'll link that up here somewhere. Storage essentially takes the exact same thing and distributes it. So we're not talking about streaming of the content, but we're actually talking about storing that content. And it allows people to set up what they call a node, and they can offer their bandwidth and their physical storage, their hard drive space, up to the network. And in return, they get paid for that. You get paid, we pay you for unused disk space to power the storage network, securely store encrypted data. And so essentially what it works is you become the cloud. Thousands of these company or nodes, you and me, people like us, become the cloud. And as a user of storage, you can upload your data to the storage network. And what happens is, as you upload files, they get encrypted on your end. Then they are uploaded to the network, and then they are split up and distributed across all of these different nodes so that you can store them there and you can retrieve them there. And they pay hosts to run the storage nodes, where file fragments are privately stored. Now, I'm not sure yet, haven't fully investigated this, the implications of what that does for your computer. So if you think about storing your computer files, if there's a whole lot of read and writes, obviously that's going to cause wear and tear on your drives and on SSDs. But potentially you could create a platform or a system at your house just for running this. And so, there would obviously be some wear and tear involved, but depending on what you're earning, it might be economically feasible. We go over here to the sign up process. There's 4 easy steps to set up your node. 1, you have to have a 1-core processor, and you've got to have at least 550 gigabytes of available disk space. So obviously that might put some people out, especially if you're doing this on an old MacBook or something. And then you have to have 2 terabytes of bandwidth a month. So I'm not sure how that would work. I don't even know what these providers give. But you think about Comcast, Xfinity, I don't even know exactly how much data gets used in a typical house that has Xfinity. I don't know if these numbers are a little high at the moment. I'm not sure. This will be interesting to see how it plays out. Because every node has to get an identity, so you generate a unique identifier on the network. I think this is probably similar to like creating a wallet address. Essentially, you would have an identity with authorization token. Same idea. Obviously, you have to set up port forwarding so that this network can get to the computer on your network if you've got a firewall set up. And then software you can download. This is something I found interesting. If you're familiar with any of these QNAP, Synology, Western Digital is obviously a hardware company, but these two right here, QNAP and Synology, they have what they call network attached storage devices, NAS devices, and these are little boxes that plug into your network, and you can use them to store files locally on your network. But they're essentially little mini computers, and it looks like basically you have, right now they have the ability that you can install software on this QNAP device, and it will run a storage node right on that device. So it's not actually running on a computer. Most of those NAS devices are plugged in and turned on all the time. You can likely segment it. So let's say that you had a 5 terabyte or 8 terabyte QNAP device. You could segment it, that's what I'm trying to say, and put your data on one side or one area of the drive, and then set the rest up for this storage node. And so I think it's interesting. I have some of it. If you've seen the video on how to get free Theta, how I basically watched some training videos on Coinbase and converted them into Theta, I've done similar with this storage. So I own a little bit of this STORJ token. Who knows what it's going to become? You can see here that we're not far from, we're a little bit higher than the original or its previous high. So the previous high was something like 250 and we're at 292. So we're sort of at an all-time high. I don't know if that's inflated because it just went on Coinbase. But the market cap is only 740 million. I think it's got a ton of room to go. Let's say that this went to even, Theta right now is at $12 billion market cap. Let's say that this went to just $2 billion. Well, that puts it at about 3 times higher than this. So about $9 for the STORJ token. So anyway, I think this one, I like the cryptos that actually have utility behind them, and this one clearly does. It's got a use case, seems like it's been operating for a while, so it's actually functioning right now. So go check it out, take a look. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't seen the video on how to get free Theta, I'm gonna put a link over here. You can go check that video out. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.